Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Wednesday. It's late afternoon, so around 7:30 o'clock or so. I thought we'd just go into the market, see what's going on there, Bitcoin, Ethereum as well, and we'll also take a look at the miners, see how they did today, and then we'll take a look at CORZ Scientific. Just really quick, I did a video earlier on it today. You guys can check that out in full detail. This is just going to be a quick recap of it, and also why it pumped yesterday. We're going to take a look at that as well. So that is it. Not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. For entertainment only. Do your own research, please. And I'm investing in following coins and companies for full disclosure. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and the notification bell. Helps me out, helps out the channel, gets the video out to more people, and I greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's take a look at the markets here. So the markets were down today. The S&P was down 0.2%, Dow Jones was down 0.14%, NASDAQ was down 0.25%, Bitcoin was down also. If we look at it here on the daily chart, we can see that we actually were down a little bit today. We were down 0.9% on the day. We closed at 20,161. We have, however, regained some of that today. We did drop down to a low of 19,750, but we bounced back up, which is good, above our support now at 19,500. And it's still looking pretty good right now on the 1 hour chart. The daily chart, we're still waiting for that confirmation to be a little bit of a bull run. But on the 1 hour chart, we can see it here that we are still in a bull pattern a little bit. And we can see that by the screen line that you see over here. I'm just drawing a line from current price to a previous price where it was at the same point on the highs. And we can see here that from that RSI to the current RSI has been going down. So that's a good sign. That leads me to believe that we are still in a short-term bull run until we get a confirmation in the daily chart that things have changed. Right now, it's a short-term bull run. We'll see how long it lasts, and then if it can get into a longer bull run, that would be great on it. So Bitcoin's obviously at 20,357 right now. It is doing actually pretty good. It is up about 1% roughly. Ethereum is also up 1.8%, 1.7%. It is doing the same thing. It is also going up in price. Price is much higher here than it was before. Even when we look at the RSI, RSI was higher here and price was lower. So we're looking good on that. Also on the daily chart, or in the 1 hour chart. On the daily chart, that's another story here. We're still waiting for that confirmation to happen because right now, just looking at the RSI at 47 here. Prior to that, we were close to this. We were a little higher. We were at 50, but price was also much higher at that point. So until we get the reversal happening here as well, we're still short-term bullish. Long-term is basically unknown, undecided right now. All right, let's take a look at the miners, how they did today. Excuse me. It was a mixed day here a little bit. So Annie was down 5.34% to 44 cents. Argo was down 9.76% to 37 cents. BitDigital was down 5.43% to $1.22. Bitfarms was up 0.88% to $1.14. CleanSpark was down 3.48% to $3.33. CORZ Scientific was down 7.65% to $1.57. Obviously, it had a nice rally yesterday. We'll talk about why that happened. And then DigiHost was up 0.71% to 81 cents. DMG was up 1.6% excuse me, to 20 cents. Greenidge was down 7.8% to $1.89. Hive was up 0.99% to $4.07. Hut 8 was down 0.48% to $2.07. Iris Energy was up 2.75% to $4.49. Luxfolio was up 1.21% to 6 cents. Marathon was down 0.31% to $12.84. Mawson was down 4.2% to 43 cents. And Rye was down 4.48% to $7.25. Soluna was up 5.52% to $1.92. And Stronghold was up 2.63% to $1.17. So those are the miners. And let's take a quick look at why CORZ Scientific was actually bouncing yesterday. So this came out pretty early in the morning. Barclays remains positive on Bitcoin, sees miner CORZ Scientific as best in class, leverage play right now. I might actually agree with this. There might be other contenders in this as well. I could think of possibly also CleanSpark, Riot possibly being in there as well. Marathon, if they can get their act together. And then also Iris Energy, I think, would also fit into this bill as well. But obviously, as big as CORZ Scientific is, I can see why they went with them. Let's see if we can close that. There we go. All right. So here's what they had to say. So Barclays says it remains positive about the long-term viability of Bitcoin. Duh, no wonder. I do agree with that. And views Bitcoin miner CORZ Scientific as best in class, leverage play on the crypto ecosystem. The crypto winter has clearly been rough for the miners, which it has. who have seen profit margins shrink as Bitcoin price plunges more than 50% this year, while power prices soared and capital dried up, which is also true. Despite the difficult macro backdrop, Barclays sees compelling risk-reward for core at current levels. So the shares of crypto hosting and mining company rose about 9.5. They actually went up quite a bit more than that. They were up like 20-some% yesterday. If we look at it here, they were up 24% yesterday. So they finished out really, really strong based on that information. Trading on Tuesday amid a rally in the Bitcoin price on the hope that financial stability risks and signs of economic slowdown will force the U.S. Federal Reserve to pivot away from aggressive liquidity withdrawals measures. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Fed is just hell-bent on getting inflation under control, and they don't really care what's going to happen to the economy, jobs, things like that. They want to get inflation under control. That's their goal, obviously at the cost of everything else. But once inflation gets under control, I do see them obviously pivoting and then possibly down the road lowering interest rates going forward. And then we also have Compass Point echoed this positive sentiment about the company in a report last week. It said in a note to clients that Core has the scale and experience to make it through the Bitcoin market downturn. There are two things that I want to point out, though. The two caveats are, number one is the debt. They got a heck of a lot of debt on there. We need to see that obviously get paid down. The other thing is the profitability on their hosting sucks. They were basically losing money on it last quarter. So this quarter that ended in September, we really need to see something of positive action on that one, at least a small gain on it. We don't want to see something that's going to be a negative again, or at least at the very least have a breakpoint even mark on it. But we really want to see growth in that. They should be at least making at the very minimum 10%, and then at the top 20-25% on that part of their business. Otherwise, it should just get rid of it, be done with it. I don't know what their contract structure is like. I don't know how easy it would be for them to break those contracts, but it would be better than having to pay out basically or keep losing money on it with Bitcoin being down as much as it is right now. All right, so that's my take on that. Let's take a quick look at the numbers here that we had for Core. So Core provided us with their update. I did a video on it earlier. You can check it out. It's in my video stack. But Core provided 1,213 BTC that were mined. So that's obviously a decrease here from August, which was 1,334. That's a decrease of 9%. They are up for the year to date about 12.63% in their production from the start of the year, basically. The reason they are down, they said that they had issues with electrical components, and obviously the curtailment of electricity because of the heat, obviously in regions of the United States. So that was their reasoning for that. They did grow a little bit here in their hash rate as well. If we look at it, Core went up about, what is that, almost 310 petahash. It looks like an increase from the prior month, which is good. So they at least increased their hash rate. Obviously, they only mined for like 20, I think it was 21 or 22 days for the month of September, which wasn't good also. But they have increased tremendously this year. They went up 5.5 exahash in growth year to date from where they started to where they are now. They are going to be at about 17.1 or 17.2, right around there somewhere for their self-mining when everything is said and done. And they are trying to get to that point by the end of the year. So that's still a lot of growth, obviously, for them. Or by the latest, I think Q1 of 2023, I think that's what they're planning. Don't quote me on that one. I'm going off my memory. My memory isn't that great. What else do I want to point out here? As far as growth is concerned, year-to-date growth is 73% growth in hash rate, which is really good. Obviously, their numbers are huge, but they were already at 7.5 exahash to start out the year. So for them to grow a tremendous amount, it would take a lot of hash rate power. Other companies that have grown really well this year are CleanSpark, up 102%. Bitfarms is up 79%. The biggest one out of the bunch here that we're still waiting on information, Iris provided some information late last month that they were reaching 3.759 or 3.76 exahash, something like that, by the end of the month of September. So we're still waiting on their numbers here, but this is just preliminary numbers, and that would represent 366% increase in their hash rate growth just this year. They obviously started out at 805, so tremendous growth by them. What else do we have here? Riot is up 61%. So they were started at 3.4. They are at 5.6 right now. And who else do we have here? We're still waiting on a bunch of these guys. Obviously, Argo, Bit Digital has to provide numbers. Greenedge, Hive, Marathon, Mawson has to provide. Soluna and Sphere as well. And we'll cover those, obviously, as they get published. And as far as Bitcoin production goes, let's see who else has done a pretty good job so far. Bitfarms is up 59% this year. They started out at 301 to 481. CORZ is up 12.63. CleanSpark is up 46.89. DMG is up 18.57%. And Ride is actually down 22% so far this year from where they started out at, which isn't too bad because July was actually their worst month here in 318 BTC mined. So that is it. We'll have to see obviously who provides information tomorrow. When they do that, I'll obviously provide a video for you guys, and we'll talk about it in a deeper dive than here. This is just a kind of quick recap of what happened today. So that is it. Obviously, like I said, Core has to get their debt under control, has to get their hosting under control as well. They have to be profitable in that. Otherwise, get rid of it because it just doesn't make any sense for them. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And we'll see obviously what happens tomorrow. Spreadsheets available to our Patreon members. They are great over there. Thank you for their support. And that's it. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.